Hey, Jacob. It's Coach Tyler. I'm doing the VOD review for week 2 against this Link player, like you asked me. So let's hop into it. I've got notes, but no script, so forgive me if I ramble a bit. Okay. All right. So, um, let's go over a little bit about what to watch for while we go through this game. Okay. Um, First, I want you to notice that you're not using any tilts, right? Which is a bit of an issue because ice climbers, one of their best bread and butter kill confirms is up tilt into up air, right? So if you aren't already, I want you to highly consider switching your right stick to attack, right? This will let you use your tilt attacks immediately just by using the right stick, which will make your up tilt really easy to do and a lot more consistent. And then you could just hard input your smash attacks like normal. Okay, so that's one big thing that's Ice Climber specific. Um, the really big problem here is you're never using your shield or grab very effectively. You shield a tiny bit, which I'll point out when it happens, right? But you're not using it quite right. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean when we get there. Um, and you never grab, even when Link is showing you that he'll shield, right? So we talked about this in class a bit, but shields and grabs are two fundamental parts of the rock paper scissors triangle for fighting games, right? You got attacks, grabs, and shields, and you can't win rock paper scissors if you're not willing to use two of the options, right? You just can't do it. So, um, let's go ahead and hop in and we'll take a look here. Oh, sorry. One more thing to watch for throughout the set is I want you to notice how often you're ending up in the air. Okay? It's probably honestly, it's probably the biggest thing of the set is how often you are putting yourself high into the air and how that alone probably cost you this game. Okay? So let's get into it.
Three, two, one, go!
So the game starts and you head to the ground. Good stuff. Okay. So right there, you miss, and you go for a juggle. That's fine. You do a full hop here, okay? And throughout this whole set, I'm actually not sure I ever see you short hop. Um, if you aren't already aware, uh, you full hop by just pressing the jump button kind of hard, and you short hop by pressing the button like really quickly, okay? Like just a light press very quickly, and then like immediately letting go. If you have the game at home, go into training mode for a while and practice getting the difference between short hopping and full hopping down. All right, super important to learn how to do that. Uh, because when you full hop, you're putting yourself at a lot more risk than when you short hop. Right. You can also use short hops a lot more when you're approaching to build up damage without putting yourself in a juggle situation. So getting that muscle memory down for short hop versus full hop, super important. I'm just gonna point out here. So you end up being juggled here, but you went for a juggle yourself. So I'm not overly concerned about this specific instance. Oh, never mind. You landed. There we go. So right there, end up in this situation, right? And you jump. And I'm not quite sure why you jump here. This one's a little strange because you're back to neutral. Is that a dare you're going for? Let's see here. Yeah, that's dare. Okay, so thing about dare. Dare is a good move. Dare is a good move for ice climbers. Dare is not a good tool in neutral. Really bad tool in neutral, right? This is not how you want to be starting your approaches. And you're going to use this a lot throughout the match, even though Link's going to show you, starting from this very first time you try to use it, that he's not going to fall for it, right? Um, it's okay to use Dare still, but you should only use it after you start getting in a position where you're being juggled, right? Or if you're off stage, high off stage, like way up in this area, and you want to use to get below stage. You shouldn't use dare as like a tool to build damage. It should be like an escape, let's get to the ground as fast as possible option. Once in a while, right? Because if your opponent knows you're going to do it, it's not safe at all. So let's be careful about that. Okay, so you decided to recover high there. Not a huge deal. Okay, so right there. You get hit. Okay. But instead of just landing on the ground, you use your double jump here, right? Strange option. In general in Smash Bros, for the vast majority of the cast, I'm almost willing to say everyone, maybe not Jigglypuff, but basically everyone, being on the ground is much safer than being in the air. Just as a general rule of thumb, okay? You should use jumps to escape situations, but he's not approaching you here, right? He just knocked you away. So there's no real reason to jump here. If he had hit you and then was like chasing you, jumping over would make sense, right? You did that a little bit earlier, if I remember right. But like, if you do it in that situation where he's still way back here, he has time to react to your jump, and now you're in a juggle situation, right? So you don't do it through the rest of this set. Because my initial note here was that you were jumping out of after getting hit out of habit, which is a very common new player habit. But I'm not actually sure that it is a habit, because you don't do it the rest of the set. And I don't remember if during this game we called it out or what happened, right? But just be careful that that doesn't become a habit. You really want to try to get back on stage instead of being in the air, just kind of in general. Alright, so here, this is a minor thing, and Link doesn't punish you for it, but you're holding in here, right? So you're way up in the top right corner, and you're drifting into stage. This is a very dangerous spot to be. Above stage and near the ledge is very dangerous. Because you're still within range for Link or any character to just kind of jump up and punch you, right? Or hit you. Instead, what we want to do is we want to fall down away from the ledge, like over in this direction, and then double jump over and to get to ledge that way. So the reason why, this is the reason why I showed you that day in class, how far ice climbers could recover below stage. Because it's okay once in a while to drift to ledge on occasion, right? Especially if you have Nana dead as ice climbers. But while you have the option, you really want to be going underneath the stage to ledge, not high drift into ledge. Okay? Okay, so that was kind of interesting. So this is the only time this set, as far as I'm aware, where you're on ledge and you pick an option other than jump. Okay, I was going to point this out a little bit later, but in general, whenever you're hanging on ledge, and you do a pretty good job about getting to ledge. I talked earlier, just a minute ago, about drifting into ledge, but at least you're going to ledge. You're making the attempt, right? But when you get on the ledge, the only option you tend to pick is to jump up, which is fine once in a while as a mix-up, but you have other options you need to be taking as well. You need to do neutral get-up, you need to do attack get-up, you need to do roll in, and you even need to drop down and then like double jump back onto stage once in a while. If you always pick the exact same option, a good player will punish you for it every time, and Link will start punishing you for your jump option around stock 2 or 3, which we'll get to in a minute. I just think it's interesting because you use a get-up attack here, right? And you don't do it later. So right here, okay? Okay, you reset to neutral, and you jump up. And then, instead of dropping back down, you recommit and go more up. And you're going for a dare, which happens to work out because he tried to roll, right? But strange. That's strange to me. You don't want to try to go to middle stage with dare, generally. You typically want to just go to stage. All right, so like right there, he knew you're gonna dare, so he just spaced himself away from it and caught you with an up B. You go to ledge, and you jump. Okay, so this is where it starts. Every time you hit ledge from now on, you're gonna jump. And he saw that you picked the jump option. Okay, good spacing there. That was awesome. And that actually isn't a bad call. So he manages to punish there because you did it super early, right? You committed too early to your forward smash, but your forward smash does hit ledge. So if Link was hanging there, running forward and F smashing would hit him, but he hadn't even hit ledge yet, right? And so because you're already charging it, and he's going to ledge instead of recovering high onto stage, he just knows he can just get up attack and he'll hit you. So try not to commit too early there unless you predict your opponent is going to recover high. Okay? Okay, so he knocked you into the air there, and then because you committed too hard to dare immediately, right? You committed to dare here, which is right above this platform, which isn't going to do anything for you. Because you committed to it, you didn't just land and shield. Instead, you tried to attack immediately, and it led to you getting hit here. It's okay to shield on platforms. So you don't really shield throughout the set, so it's hard to find a spot to put this, but in general, you're just not shielding enough. Okay? If your opponent is putting on lots of pressure on you, it's okay to just get to the ground or a platform and shield, right? Until you can get a space, until you can get a moment to breathe and hop away. Like, that's okay. Unless they're using a move that specifically is known to break shields, like something like Bowser down B or something. But Link doesn't have too many of those. Anyway, so your aggressive down air constantly is what killed you here. Okay, here's where the rolling starts. So this is strange. I don't remember you rolling in stock 1 at all, but suddenly in stock 2, it's like, I think you realized... Also, funny, I paused and you shielding here. You do this a couple times, actually. Where you, like, start randomly shielding. It's like, in stock 2, you decide to start taking defensive options, but you're not really sure what to pick. And so, you press the shield button a couple times, sort of randomly, even though he's not next to you, really. And when you do it, you don't even hold it. You just kind of press it. So I don't know. It's a little strange. But besides that, the defensive option you start picking a ton in stock 2 is rolling, and it's weird. No, it's not even weird. It's actually really common for beginner competitor players to roll a lot. Honestly, I've been impressed that you guys don't do it as much as I have commonly seen beginners do it. But you start doing it here. Let's see. So like here, yep, you roll, you roll, you roll, you roll, you miss, you roll, you roll, you roll, and you roll. So here's the thing with rolling, okay? Smash Bros. Has a mechanic with their rolls, Smash Ultimate does, where every single time you roll, the number of iframes you get, the amount of time that you're invincible for, the amount of time that's actually protecting you, goes down, right? And it does recover slowly. I forget if it's over time, but I know at the very least you do get it back between stocks, so you get all the invincibility back between when you lose a stock, right? But here, you roll so much that... So there's no reason to like roll here, right? To roll here. Like, nothing's happening. And there's no reason to roll that second time, right? He's way over here. And definitely no reason to roll there or there. He's already doing an option over here, right? He's not even attacking in that direction. So you used roll like 4 times in quick succession for no benefit at all. And now, when you roll here, right there, you didn't have iframes anymore, right? They were gone. You had so few iframes left that hit you, which wasn't a big deal because you're at so low percent, but like, you can't spam roll. You just can't. Every time you do it, your iframes get smaller, and the amount of time that you are stuck being unable to defend yourself gets bigger. It's a super important thing to learn how to do, right? It's a really great tool. It is not a movement option. You can't use it to move around the stage. It's just not safe. Okay. So he gets you in the air, attacks Nana. Okay. Good job there. Good job, like, using something to kind of space him out a little bit. Oops. Sorry about that. Hit the thing by mistake. Here we go. And then we were in stock, your second stock, right? There we go. So rolling. Yeah, so actually, walling him out more would have been good throughout most of this set. Unless he is showing that he's going to stick back and try to pellet you with better projectiles, it's okay to stand back and hit them with projectiles until they show you that's not going to work on me, right? Once they show you that's not going to work on them, Link especially would be able to throw bombs or wall you out with arrows or boomerang, right? So that's not a thing you're going to win for long. But until he shows you that he's going to do that, it's okay to just kind of pelt him with stuff. All right, so like Link was showing there, and earlier too, near the beginning of the set that I forgot to call out. You attack. He's holding shield, and you're running in, and then while he's holding shield, you choose like super late to dash attack. Oh, where was it? I forgot to call it out. Right there. Yeah, right there. So he's holding shield, and he's holding it for quite a while, right? And then you still decide to dash attack. Okay, sorry. So yeah, don't be afraid to grab when your opponent's shielding. That was the main takeaway. Okay, so like right here, right? You're tapping the shield button, and it happens to parry twice here. But if you had just held shield the first time, you could have blocked all three of these and then punished with a smash attack, and you would have taken the stock, right? Because this is a super laggy move. If you had just held shield and then down smashed, he died. Like, no question. Okay, so you ran in there and you didn't shield, and so Nana died, right? So you're not shielding enough. You tried defensive play, but the option you took was just roll. And when that didn't work, you just kind of stopped trying to play defensively entirely. Defense options, you need in all styles of play, right? So whether you're being aggressive, you're using bait and punish, or you're playing defensively, you need to be able to use all three of the core options. Okay, so grabs, shields, and attacks. Just because defensive play is going to use them more often than the other two do doesn't mean the other two don't use them at all, right? It just means that the other two are going to default to doing something else, and they'll mix it in when danger is approaching, right? Great job getting the stage here. Excellent work. I'm glad we had worked on that, right? So great job recovering to ledge here. Just no notes. That was just good. Oh, so like right here again. Dangerous option. You chose to jump up here, right? And it does avoid this. So at least in this case, he is threatening you with something. So this makes some sense, actually. But you go to the platform instead of just jumping up and then like landing up here. Okay, he almost catches you, but he misses. And once again, you pick down air in neutral. And then you go for... This is a fair? Okay. Not a bad option, but you full hop it, right? So you full hop it, even though he's already, like, moving down. So by the time you're up in the air, he's already below you. As opposed to a short hop, which could have caught him. Now that wasn't terrible. Like, actually, I like this option that you picked here. Because you go for a read of a jump, right? And he doesn't jump, because he's sticking more to the ground. But I see what you're going for there. That wasn't bad. Generally, as ice climbers, a safer option probably would have been to run forward. It's called a reverse back air, which is where you jump and turn around kind of at the same time, okay? And then you do a reverse, you do a back air, right, as you're approaching. Your back air is typically stronger, but I know your fair does kill as well. The good players definitely do use it, so not a bad option. But you did full hop it, so you had no chance of hanging him on the ground, and because he didn't jump, it doesn't hit. Okay, so you go up again, right? So this is not a safe spot. He's been juggling you in this spot all game. Okay. So I'm gonna point this out here just one time. You do miss the attack here, right? Which is why you hit the ground. You could have avoided being on the ground by pressing an attack in the air, any attack in the air, and you would have landed. Or you could have pressed the shield button while landing to tech, which we talked about in class. And we added to everyone's gacha rules, so I'm sure you've been practicing it. So I'm just pointing it out here, this is one of the reasons like why we added the gacha rules this week, right? All right, so this is an unfortunate whiff because he way overcommits with an up smash, right? And you're in position to take the stock. Just down smash kills here. Like, absolutely just takes the stock. And he is way overcommitted. But instead you do a dash attack. Now, this might have just been a misinput. I make misinputs in this situation all the time, so it's super normal. But dash attack would have killed here. Or smash attack would have killed there, in case that wasn't a misinput and you meant to dash attack. Okay, so once again, situation where shielding would have been super useful, right? He's approaching unsafely without a jump from mid-air. He has no good options about what to do now while landing. But because you didn't respect the fact he might land with an aerial by shielding, right? He's able to land and then immediately start hitting you. When your opponent is landing above you, you have to respect their ability to throw out an aerial. So let's say you were fighting another Ice Climber player. You have to respect that they have down air, right? You have to know that that's something they might throw out. So, like, let's say Logan gets above you, right? Our Kirby player, and he's just floating above you. You have to respect that he might down B to hit you, because if you don't, then you're gonna get hit and eat it. So you can either avoid it, right, by dodging out of the way, which you were running at him. So in this case with Link, that wouldn't have worked. Or you can shield it, right? So shielding, super important, even when you're in the advantage state and you're juggling them, because you need to respect the fact that they might pick an aggressive option. Okay, you hold on a little bit too long there. He could have blown up that bomb right here after you stopped glowing, and it would have hit you. But he waits too long and only hits Nana instead. Alright, so right here, great example of you lost the interaction, okay? You got hit, but you held in instead of going away. So, for one, going away would have let you come over here to back to Nana, right? But because you held in to get to center stage instead of going to ledge, you eat this up air, or up B. And then here, you air dodge to stage, right where he is, right? Like, he's here really early. He is already there. He's already covering the option, and you're still way up here. Definitely get used to just kind of falling down, double jumping up below stage to ledge. Because if you've done that, this doesn't kill you. And this player hasn't gone off stage one time all game to hit you. So this definitely would have been safer, even without Nana, right? Because you still had your double jump. I'm pretty sure. Right there, got hit. Maybe not. Where are you? Yeah, you still have your double jump. You haven't lost it yet. But because you're just holding in towards stage, you get hit. So that's how you lost the last stock. Okay. I've got a game that I think you and I should watch real quick. I'll be right back. All right, hey Jacob. This is Harisen, your pro player, playing against Rido at Tamisuma SP249, which was an online tournament Japan held, right? Um, this is game 2. Rido just won game 1. We're just gonna watch this real quick. I've even got it sped up to like 1.25 speed, so it's gonna look a little fast. But what I want you to pay attention to in this matchup is how Harisen sticks to the ground, okay? How they don't spend much time in the air and they prioritize returning to ground, okay? I also want you to check out how they use Blizzard, all right, in neutral, and how they're using their up tilt to get kill confirms, all right? Let's take a look.
3, 2, 1, go!
Also, how often they shield. Okay, sorry, that was the other big thing. Pay attention to how often they are sticking to the ground, how often they're shielding, how often they use Blizzard and how they use Blizzard kind of as a tool, and how they use up tilt to get kill confirms. Like, look at them sit patiently and shield there, right? All right, so they're using Blizzard to kind of build up damage and to apply pressure to shield. And that was just the Ice Climber combo. I don't expect you to do stuff like that. That's okay. So check how close he sticks to the ground, right? So they use Blizzard at ledge a lot, right, to cover several get-up options, namely jump and air in Blizzard, because it will cover both jump and stand-up, and I believe even roll. And then every time they kind of approach, they'll shield, right? Unless they're already in advantage state, when they approach, they'll shield to make sure that whatever Link decides as an option doesn't hit them. Okay, so they use up tilts to build damage. When they catch Link shielding, right, they either go for grabs or they go for Blizzard because Blizzard does a ton of shield damage, which forces him to let go of it. They also use Blizzard to combo into dash to the twirling move, right? Your side B. They use Blizzard there expertly. If Link had Rido had made a mistake there, that actually would have killed him. A very common mistake that players will make after getting caught by Blizzard, even some better players, is they'll have already made some input for their get up option at ledge, like roll, which might buffer itself as an air dodge after they get hit. So they'll double jump up, they'll get hit by Blizzard, and the air dodge will come out after Blizzard ends, and now they are stuck in free fall with no jump, and then they die because their up B won't get into ledge. Very common to happen. So using Blizzard at ledge is a very good option. Okay. If you can get separated from Nana like that, if you just find yourself in that situation, you can use Blizzard, right, to hold them in shield and have the other one grab them. That's very advanced Ice Climber stuff. I don't expect you to necessarily know how to do that, right? It's okay. But do try to learn how, if you get separated from Nana, how you can make an input to have Nana do something after you've already committed to doing something with Popo. Not necessarily like the super long grab combos and stuff. That's all fine, right? That's super advanced Ice Climber stuff. But hey, you know, I missed my smash attack or I missed my up tilt. I should have Nana protect me with Blizzard. So maybe learn stuff like that, but just, oh, up tilt, oh, it missed down B, right? Okay, they went for a back air there. Using Blizzard to cover off stage. And just look at that patience and shield. Okay, so that was pretty interesting. They got hit and they were landing with a fair, right? And it caught up Link. So notice that when they were landing, they weren't going for dare very often, right? They used dare a little bit through the match. But that's something you can watch from the set too, is how often they're actually using dare as like an attack option because it's not very often. They use it sparingly to get down quickly, but they very rarely use it as like to attack. Like even up there, right? Instead of like they threw it out an ice block and then they came down. Okay, they got up. You read the get up option. They use Blizzard to kind of space link out. Okay, gets caught on the ledge again. But in general, they're not like full hopping in neutral, right? They're just kind of chilling on stage, short hopping, picking options. But otherwise, they're sticking very close to the ground, right? Maybe they hop up to a platform. Fishing for back airs. Even they dropped shield a little bit early. And then they ran in and down smashed. Alright, so this whole set's worth watching, I think. But I just wanted to show off that one real fast. Because this video was already going a little bit long, but I digress. Check this out. And yeah, pay attention to that stuff I pointed out at the beginning here, right? Mention how often they kind of use Blizzard to space out. Pay attention to how they can use Nana when she happens to get knocked away from them to kind of protect Popo once an option misses. And mostly pay attention to how often they are shielding, right? It's really useful, just in general. It's a core option, right? Especially compared to how often they do that versus roll, because they don't do it often. They do roll, but not nearly as often as they're just shielding stuff, right? All right, that's gonna be for me this week, Jacob, and I will catch you later.